The Bureau Boys is an improvised detective serial. Every Monday morning, the Bureau Boys solve crimes based on clues sent in by their informants.
That's you! Go to thebureauboys.com to submit your clues, informant. This week's clue, brought to you by Informant Jamie. They opened a time capsule.
When we last left the Bureau Boys, they had left a huge stack of bodies at the county morgue. They had rummaged around through the body of a John Doe that was perhaps Abraham Simpson and found a division table that pointed them toward the elementary school.
Narrator, I've got to correct you, you dumb son of a gun.
Go on.
The John Doe's presumed name wasn't Abraham. It was Arnold, of course.
Why do I keep saying Abraham Simpson? Is it because of the DVD Simpsons box set that you gave me for Christmas? Thank you, by the way.
You're welcome. That and you've been reading too much of the King James Bible.
Is there ever too much Bible reading?
Not in my good book.
Narrator, quick question. In the non-King James versions of the Bible, what do they call Abraham?
I don't know. I think it's Tom?
Like that MySpace guy. Anyhow, the Bureau Boys find themselves... Did you have anything you wanted to add to the narration, narrator? Or should I just keep on going?
Roll with it, baby.
Okay, anyhow, the Bureau Boys rolled up to the elementary school that they, frankly, should be prohibited from rolling up to in their Mercury Le Sable.
Okay, Detective Potter, here's the game plan. We don't want to linger in this school for too long. One of those kids gets a good look at me, and we're toast.
Not only do we not want to, legally we can't.
And they've beefed up security, so we gotta be careful.
There are droids all over this place. The Bureau Boys look around the campus grounds. There are drones, robots patrolling the grounds, and a laser security system. God, Detective Riley, we really should consider starting to pay our property taxes, because this can't be cheap.
The only taxes I pay are those that are taken out of my paycheck at the Bureau.
I thought you were going to say something gross like the booty tax or something weird like that.
No, that's only for pirates. Okay. Detective Potter.
Yeah.
Slink down in your seat.
Okay.
So, the Bureau Boys, slink down in their seats.
Okay, I'm slunk.
We can't go in looking like this. It's just too conspicuous.
Do you want to dress up like each other again? Or should we dress up like the Stone Temple Pilots because no one will ever recognize us?
Perfect.
Fortunately, I have these old Stone Temple Pilots costumes. The Bureau Boys head to the back of the Mercury Le Sable. They pop the trunk and pull out Stone Temple Pilots costumes from Halloween's long ago.
Well, I bet you can guess who I am.
I definitely can, but why don't you go ahead and tell me?
Well, of course, I'm Scott Wyland, lead vocals.
Yes. And Detective Riley, I know you can guess who I am, too.
Yeah, of course, you're Eric Kretz, drums.
Did the drumsticks give it away? Detective Potter twirls a drumstick in his hand, looking real cool, but then pokes himself in the eye. Ow!
Enough of the antics. Let's get out of this vehicle and roll right up to that mechanized droid standing guard at the front door.
The Bureau Boys approach the mechanized sentry. What is your business, human?
Oh, we're the Stone Temple Pilots, 2 out of 4, and we're here to play for the kids.
For the cotillion dance? Yes, we've been expecting you. Detective Riley, this is perfect.
Like, Scott. Here.
Scott, yeah. This is perfect.
Yeah. Eric,
they were already expecting the Stone Temple Pilots. Really? The Stone Temple Pilots are doing cotillions now?
They're not as big as they used to be, in 92.
I love Interstate Love Song. Please sign my chassis.
So the robot sticks out its metallic behind and the boys scribble their best impressions of Eric Kretz and Scott Wyland's signatures.
Detective Riley, Scott, thank God we studied our own signatures before we got here. Proceed.
That was close.
The Bureau boys sidle into the school. Fortunately, everyone is distracted by the cotillion, for the Bureau boys have approached this school at night.
Okay, this division table,
Yes?
it says that the division table, it says Terrence McGillicuddy.
Wait, Terrence McGillicuddy.
That's whose room 303.
The Bureau boys skulk through the shadows of the hallways to room 303. They enter. Okay, Detective Riley. This is, I know, not the first time that you've been in a school after hours, and God willing, it'll be the last.
Oh, but being in this school just makes me want to toke up, if you know what I mean. And we are in an American rock band.
Of course I know what you mean. But look, this is Terrence McGillicuddy's domain now. And all those robot sentries. The Bureau boys duck down behind a desk as a robot sentry stomps by in the hallway. Its laser eyes scan into the room and detect no signs of intelligence.
All clear.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, Detective Riley. I'll start going
check the desk.
Yeah, let's both start checking through his desk.
There's an argument to be made that it would be wise to split up.
No. I'm scared, honestly.
Okay, I'll check the right side of the desk, and you go ahead and do the rest.
So the center and the left. Detective Potter opens up the top left drawer and withdraws a receipt. Detective Riley, this is a receipt for pizza.
Detective Riley opens the top drawer on the right side and finds an empty bread bag. Detective Potter, this is an empty bread bag, and it was marbled rye.
From where, Detective Riley?
From the McConnell's grocery. That means Terrence McGillicuddy has been buying pizza bread from McCallahan's and marbled rye from McConnell's.
Yes, Detective Riley. I'm sorry that I was trying to not let you see the receipt. It is for pizza bread, not just for pizza. But that makes sense, Detective Riley, because I also found this recipe for pizza. Terrence McGillicuddy was making his own pizza. And what is the most important ingredient of pizza, Detective Riley, other than tomatoes, cheese, toppings, sauce? What's the last thing that you need?
Pepperoni.
No, Detective Riley, that counts as one of the toppings. I said sauce, cheese, tomatoes, toppings. What's the thing that I'm missing? The glue, if you will, that holds the pizza together.
The oven.
Okay, Detective Riley, I'm going to give you one more guess, and then I'm just going to tell you. The oven is what cooks the pizza and makes it hot and melts all those ingredients together. And once you put the pizza in the oven, you're going to get a rise out of this last ingredient that I'm talking about, Detective Riley.
Yeast.
You're so close, Detective Riley. It's the pizza dough.
Oh,
Quick.
Of course it is.
Look around for a receipt for pizza dough from, clearly, McCallahan's grocery store. They're known for their pizza dough, Detective Riley.
Wait, the receipt you pulled out wasn't for McCallahan's?
The receipt I pulled out was a Papa John's receipt, Detective Riley. It just made me think that he likes pizza. And then I found this recipe with a recipe for pizza. And then I put together that maybe he likes to make pizza using clearly the best pizza dough in the county, because if he likes Papa John's, Detective Riley, he likes good pizza.
You don't have to tell me twice.
And he probably likes big game hunting.
So the Bureau boys rummage through the rest of the desk, pulling out books, slinkies, half-eaten apples, pens, couple porno mags.
This guy's a real sicko. We should get him like we got that gym teacher, Detective Riley, but there's no time for that right now.
It's just regular porn. The gym teacher was up to way worse things.
Okay, Detective Riley, yes, this is regular porn, but having it at your desk in front of a bunch of school... What is he, cranking one out between second and third period?
Okay, you're right. Now you've sold me. We're going to hang him from the highest tree in Hill Valley.
The old oak tree outside of our office?
Yes, with the hanging branch.
Okay, Detective Riley,
Wait, hold on. Look.
Go on.
Underneath, caught in the chair wheel. Detective Riley stoops down and finds wedged inside of the little chair wheel. You know, narrator, on the rolly chairs, and how sometimes it picks up dust and...
Gunk, yeah, gunk, and if you don't take care of those casters, they'll get all gunked up and it'll be hard to roll your chair. I get it, narrator. You don't need to spell it out. What is it, boy? What'd you find?
I found a receipt under the chair. Mm-hmm.
Detective Potter holds a biscuit out to Detective Riley and takes the receipt from between his teeth in exchange for the biscuit. Here you go, bud. Good boy. Detective Riley, it is a receipt. It's a receipt for McCallahan's. Detective Riley, this is for grosses upon grosses of pizza dough.
Now, we saw back at Gordon Freeman's bedroom, he had bags upon bags from McCallahan's as well.
He did.
We were expecting McConnell's, but it was McCallahan's.
Yes. And Terrence here, he's ordering from both of these rival grocery stores.
Yeah, well, and I just found a bag, an empty bag, so he must be eating rye straight from the bag.
Are you suggesting in Gordon Freeman's bedroom he's eating rye bread?
No. Here, this is I found this bag of this empty bag of bread. It's a bag that used to contain marbled rye bread, but now it's empty. And
right, in Gordon Freeman's... Oh, in his desk.
Here in Terrence's desk.
Okay, Detective Riley, I think there's another piece of the puzzle that we might need to connect the dots here. Give me 1 second. Detective Potter rummages through the desk and finds Terrence's day planner. Detective Riley, I'll give you one guess who was in charge of booking the entertainment for tonight's cotillion.
Patsy?
No, Detective Riley. Whose day planner did I just pull out of whose desk?
Gladiola Simpson. Obviously, she's in on it.
You know what, Detective Riley? No, it was Terrence. Terrence was in charge of booking Stone Temple Pilots for this event. And Stone Temple Pilots...
is us.
Detective Riley, I love your commitment to the character, but no, we're not Stone Temple Pilots. You're sort of a dog person and you were a wolf at one point. I think you were raised by wolves. I don't know what your whole story is. But Detective Riley, Gordon Freeman loves Stone Temple Pilots. And guess who else loves Stone Temple Pilots, it would appear? Terrence. Very good.
Wow. All right. Well, that means I'm betting that if Terrence is such a big fan of Stone Temple Pilots and Gordon Freeman is such a big fan of Stone Temple Pilots, then guess who's going to be at this Quintillion's performance tonight, starting in 30 minutes from right now?
Detective Riley, I don't want to blow your mind even further, but considering the hard time we've had finding Gordon Freeman, do you think there's any possibility that Terrence is Gordon Freeman?
The Bureau boys look at each other, shocked and awe, not knowing what to say or what to think.
Say something, Detective Riley. Think something.
Detective Riley's brain was filled with images of Gladiola hanging on that wall.
Detective Riley, are you thinking about sex with Gladiola? She's too old for you, for God's sake.
We see Detective Riley slipping one of the porno mags into his back pocket.
Detective Riley, I feel like we have to go to this dance.
Let's just try and get down there, backstage, to start surveying the scene, just to see what's going on and position ourselves, so we can surveil our suspects.
Okay. As the Bureau boys are leaving Terrence's room, Detective Riley kicks a little loose floorboard, for this is a very old school, also built on a pet cemetery. They have a shitload of pet cemeteries in this town.
Whoa. This floorboard, it's loose.
You smelling something, boy?
Detective Riley starts gyrating his whole body. He gets down on all fours, rips the floorboard off, starts using his front paws to rummage through the old bones of mice and cats and Fidos and little snake bodies.
Easy, boy. Careful with your paws.
Who's here? Detective Riley hits his paw on a hard metallic container and yelps, "Oh!"
Good boy. Detective Potter reaches for the container and pulls out what looks like one of those, bank things that they put stuff in and it goes up that pneumatic tube. A time capsule. That's what happens with those things when you put them in the bank. They go through time and get to your teller. Right?
I know how they work. Narrator, you don't have to explain it to me.
Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to explain that to you.
Whoa.
Detective Riley, were you just doing a Keanu Reeves impression? Because I think this is a time capsule.
No.
First of all, Detective Riley, Keanu Reeves is timeless. And also, this time capsule seems to have been here for ages. Ages and ages. Almost back to the time when Gladiola Simpson was in that portrait with that young man.
Hey, she still looks good for her age. Back off.
Oh, no, that's not what I'm saying, Detective Riley. I'm just saying that with it being buried among all these bones, it's clearly an older time capsule. Not from this year's class, is all I'm saying. I'm just saying, Detective Riley, don't make any references to this year's class. Because you already have a restraining order against it anyhow, and I think this is an older one.
It's definitely older. You can tell because it's real metal, not that aluminum crap that they're making automobiles out of these days.
The Bureau boys twist off the lid of the time capsule. A faint
hiss.
Exactly right, narrator. I was getting to it. There was a faint hiss. I was a little more descriptive, so it took me an extra second to get to it. But forgive me, narrator.
I'm just trying to get there.
Why don't you tell us what brand of time capsule it is, narrator, since specificity is your thing?
It's a take your time-o-matic time capsule from the Time-o-matic Company circa 1909.
The Bureau boys gaze into the top of the time capsule and gasp.
What did the Bureau boys see when they opened up the time capsule?
Is Gladiola that old? Could it be from her class? And what's the deal with Detective Riley chasing skeletons around?
Are there connections between this time capsule and today's bread makers, the McCallahans and the McConnells?
Will the Bureau boys be able to get into the cotillion disguised as Scott and Eric from the Stone Temple Pilots?
And what songs do you think that famous band will be playing?
Will the real Stone Temple Pilots actually show up for this gig? Arguably the first on their calendar of the year.
Find out the answers to these questions and many more next week on the Marbled Rye Mystery.
If you enjoyed this episode, help the Bureau Boys solve this case by submitting your clue at thebureauboys.com. They may use it on a future episode.
While you're there, why not join their Informant network and tell all your friends and family to join too? But don't tell the criminals, because the Bureau Boys are coming for them.